Okay, hey you guys, it's your girl Keith coming back at you with another story time. But I'm sorry, this I done kind of got on one with this true crime, so we had another true crime. This is not gonna be one of my story time, but I'm gonna get y'all another one of my story time. Now. Don't worry about it. We coming back to that. But first, we gotta do this true crime right. Okay, so today's story is about this family called the Duperot family. No, not like the last story where the whole family was serial killers. No, 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 no. Uh, they weren't killing anybody. Okay, so apparently the father, Arthur Duperant, he had this dream of taking his family on a vacation at sea for a year, is what he wanted. So him and the wife have kids. They have three kids. They have a boy, Brian, who is 14, the daughter, Terry Jo. Remember these names now. Terry Jo, she's 11. Okay, she's still a little girl. She's 11. Damn. And then they got little bitty Renee. She's only 7. Come on, man. Yeah, like the little bitty one. She's only 7. Why? So, apparently this man worked hard. Him and his wife worked hard to provide for their family. They saved this money. So the idea was, because they have kids, you can't just up and be like, you know what, we're gonna go off and do this whole new thing and just uproot the kids. They're just gonna have to deal with it. No, they did the sensible thing. Let's take a 1 week vacation at sea to see how this goes. How do the kids actually enjoy it before we just kind of like, hey, yeah, we're gonna be out here for about a year now. So they did talk to the kids about possibly staying out at sea longer. Okay, so November of 1961, he has saved up the money. He has rented this boat down in Fort Lauderdale. Now, the Duperants live in Wisconsin. Okay, it's cold during the wintertime. This is why they're choosing to go during the wintertime. Like, hey, let's get the hell out of here and go get some warm sun, some pretty ocean, beach. Let's go kick it during the cold season. Let's leave all this behind, all the snow and stuff. To be here when we get back. Come on, little Renee, Terry Jo, y'all get in the back. Come on, yeah. So they head out or whatever. They go down there. They've rented this boat already. So it said that it was this man that he paid to be the captain. Apparently, he formerly knew this man. He was formerly acquainted with him. Now, the captain, Julian Harvey, because he hired him to captain the boat, he never hired a cook. However, he had a wife named Deanie, and he insisted on her being present. Okay, he insisted on her being there for Deanie. I think it's pronounced Deanie. Anyway, he insisted on her being on that boat. So when the Duperants got there, they're meeting the wife or whatever. So this man is a Air Force pilot, a formal colonel from the Air Force. Say he flew the fighter planes or whatever. So okay, he ready. He's ready. Apparently he has some sense of direction. He flying all across the world, fighting going on. So he hires this man to captain his boat. Like I said, say that he was formerly known to this man, or they already knew each other. Okay, they're already acquainted from previous. So the only thing I can think is Arthur Duperant was in the military at one point in the Air Force. That has to be the connection as to how these two know each other already, right? So okay, of course, he gets there, he's thinking, okay, this is one of my old military buddies. I could trust him to take my family around. I'm paying him to do this. Is what he is now doing. We are both out of the military. He is a captain. He takes people out on these yachts for these extended vacations. So why not pay the person that I know and I'm already cool with? Why not give this person the money instead of a total stranger and my family finna be around him? Like, yeah, let's go with the guy I already know. I was in the military with him. I can trust him, right? Okay, so it says they set out early on a Wednesday morning, uh, going on this trip. So they leave out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They're headed to the Bahamas. So it says that the first island or chain island that they went to is one, I believe, is Bimini. And then they went to a Sandy Point village. So over the next few days of this trip, voyage, whatever you want to call it, they're on this yacht. You know, the wife is on there. She's preparing meals for the family. You know, she's everything that they need on that boat or need to have there to keep them comfortable and happy while they're on that yacht. She's doing it, okay? There's no extra charge to the DuPonts for you. This is just, hey, you know what? You my pal. You're giving me money. You're giving me business, you know, by using me to captain your boat. So I'm bringing my wife along just to throw in a little extra. She's going to do the cooking and cleaning and stuff on the boat for you. And you ain't got to pay no extra. I mean, it's my wife. So technically, if I get paid, she get paid. That's how it has been explained to them. That's how they're looking at it. Like, oh, yeah, you know, okay, we're gonna, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, why not? Come on. Everybody's one big happy family. So, let me tell you, because it's about to get, it's about to get crazy, y'all. It's about to get crazy. So, Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, they go into the commissioner's office back on Sandy Point Village. So, they go into his office because apparently you have to fill out paperwork when you take a private boat out of, you know, U.S. territory. You have to fill out paperwork to cross back into, you know, that water coming up to Fort Lauderdale, whatever. I don't know. I've never been on a boat, so I can't tell you. Hey, so, oh yes, and the name of the ship was the Bluebell. Made me think about ice cream when I first seen this. Actually, the whole time I've been reading, I keep thinking about Bluebell ice cream because the ship is named Bluebell. I don't know, maybe I'm just greedy, but but it sure made me think about some ice cream, like some butter pecan or it don't matter. We ain't talking about ice cream right now. We talking about this story. So, anyway, so yes, let me tell y'all. So, Arthur, it is said that he told Commissioner Bender that, no, not Bender, Pender, sorry, Commissioner Pender. He told Commissioner Pender that he enjoyed it so much that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and that he would definitely be back. He also told Mr. Pender that, quote, we will be back before Christmas. So he's intending on coming back. He's not intending on anything going on. This has been a very good trip for him. You know, it says they've been all around. They've been collecting souvenirs and stuff. Buying souvenirs and collecting seashells and all type of stuff, you know. And they know because apparently some of the places that they went accepted checks from him, and he wrote out checks for some of the stuff that they bought on some of these islands while they were in the Bahamas. How the police is able to at least track when they actually died for real. You know, they have to do some type of investigation. They can't just take your word that a whole bunch of people just fucking came up dead and now you don't want to lie. They got to do some research somewhere now. So, you know, they able to go get the bank statements and see, okay, yes, there were checks written in this place, in this place, in this place. This was the last one on this date. You know, the paperwork was filled out on this day. So we know for sure he was alive on Sunday. Okay. Apparently the whole family is, because I don't see him being all happy and giddy if his whole family is dead, right? So, Sunday night, it says that Miss Deanie, she prepared chicken and salad for the Dupont family. This was to be their last meal that they ever ate. So, apparently they're all sitting around in the kitchen area, dining area, whatever, on this yacht, and they're eating, they're enjoying their time. So little Terry Jo, remember Terry Jo? She's 11. Yeah, her. So she says around 9 p.m. she started getting tired, so she went back to her cabin, which was apparently, you know, below deck, and is at the back of the ship. So she goes to her cabin. When she goes to her cabin, she goes to sleep. Now, normally her and her little sister would have been in this cabin together. But the little sister actually stayed up top on deck with the parents and the brother. Remember Brian, the big brother? Yeah. So little Renee is up there with Brian and the parents. Okay. The wife is Jean and Arthur Dupont. Okay. So yeah. All right. We got all the names now. So the family is up there on deck. They're still enjoying themselves. She's 11, so of course she wants to go to bed. Let her go to bed. Who's gonna stop her? So she goes to bed. She says that she is awakened because she hears screaming. She hears her brother screaming for their dad to help. He's saying, "Help, Dad, help, help, help." And then everything goes quiet and she just hears some type of a stamping noise. So, of course, she's scared. So she says she lays there for a few more minutes because she's listening. She's trying to figure out what to do. I'm hearing people hollering for help. What's happening? I'm little. I don't know what to do. Shit. This is really turning into a shit show for her, right? So she gets up, she goes out of her room, she slowly starts to head up deck. As she comes out of her room and heads towards the stairs, she actually passes by her mother and brother on the floor in just a lot of blood, just pools of blood around them. So she says that she knew as soon as she looked at them that they were dead. This has to be an extreme thing for an 11-year-old to wake up out of her sleep to, or to even see, period. This has to be a very stressful thing for her to be going on right now. They say kids are just so resilient, but we have to know that at some point in life, you have to know that there obviously was some type of mental disconnect or something with this kid in the future. She didn't just grow up all happy, lollipops and rainbows. No, this is the end. Like, what the fuck, right? So, okay. So she goes on up to the top. As she gets to the top, she steps out on deck and she calls for her dad. The Captain Harvey, pushes her back down the stairs and tells her to get back below deck now. Get your little butt back down there in your cabin. So she runs back down. She goes back to her cabin. She's scared. So she jumps back in her bed. She gets under the cover. I mean, she's 11. Let's be for real. We all did that as kids. We get scared, run the room after you to watch the scary movie that your mom probably told you not to watch anyway, and you got up out the bed last night and watched that movie. Now you on the blanket like this, peeking, because you swear that monster from the movie finna get you. Yeah. So she's little, but this is no joke. This is not funny. This is real life, and there really is a monster, the murderous ass captain on a ship that just killed every damn body. So she says after a few minutes she starts to notice water seeping under her door of her cabin. So she sits up in bed because now she's looking like, man, it's starting to be a lot of water in here. So she sits up. She notices after a minute or so goes by, the water is still filling up, but she's afraid because the captain, she's already seen all these dead bodies. The only person she sees alive other than her is the captain, and he just pushed her down the stairs and told her to get her ass back down there in that cabin in her room. So she's sitting there, but she says she sensed something, so she looks up. She looks up because she senses another presence. So she looks up, and she actually sees the captain standing there holding her brother's gun. I don't know how to explain or whether, I guess, how do I put this? I don't understand why there was a gun on the boat. What the hell are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna shoot fish or something? Like, I don't know why there was a gun on that boat. Let's keep in mind that the brother is 14, so I don't know why the hell he has a gun to even begin with. But yeah, this just kind of off topic here, but I'm still wondering what the hell a 14-year-old doing with a gun and on a boat. Why does he need a gun on a boat? Who the hell you gonna shoot, son? No, you don't need, leave the gun at home, okay? Leave it at home. But back to the topic now, because I just had to get that, because why in the hell do he got a gun on a boat? Well, where is you on with the gun? And then you had the gun, why you didn't shoot the captain when he started like killing you and your mama. Like, you should have shot the shit out of him. You just stood there and let him kill you? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know, people freeze up. They have different reactions to stuff going on. I don't know. But he should have been shooting the hell out that captain while the captain was trying to kill everybody. If he had a gun on there. But the girl says that when she looks up, she sees the captain standing at the door. And he has her brother gun. So, you know, she's really terrified. Say, at that point, she was so scared that all she could hear was her heart pounding in her head. It was beating so hard because she is terrified, okay? And I imagine she is. Hell, I'm 37. I'd be terrified if I seen some shit like this going on. Like, oh, Lord, have mercy. I probably wouldn't be in my cabin sitting there, you know, because I'm not a little kid, but, you know, she's little, so she doesn't know to, like, fight or try to, like, you know, get away right before he goes and get that gun, because he definitely want to push me back down there. If anything, I'd have knocked his ass down and went on to that little dinghy and got the hell on down to fuck you and the ship. So, the ship is sinking. He walks away. He stands there and looks at her for a minute, so he walks away. So the ship is sinking, and it is sinking quickly, because about time a minute or so passes, she says that the water at this point has gotten to be waist deep on her, which I guess it wouldn't actually be quite as high on an adult, because we gotta remember she's 11, so she's a little girl. Okay, so she is on this boat. This boat is sinking. She comes up and she yells out and she said, "Is the boat sinking?" And he came running from behind her and said, "Yes, it is. Hold this." So he went and untied the dinghy and handed her the rope that was tied to it. So I'm assuming that he was really hoping that she would stand there like a fool and hold on to the rope. And once that dinghy dropped and hit that water, I guess he thought that, he was just going to drag her through the water or something. I don't know. Or maybe he even intended to kill her once he got her off that boat, just to make sure she was dead too. I don't know. But he didn't attempt to get her off that boat. We know that. In all honesty, I don't believe he even realized that she was still alive. And we're going to get there in a minute as to why I don't think that he knew. How do I put this? Not at the very end, but when he initially killed everybody, I think it happened so fast that he didn't realize that he left somebody behind anyway, because she had went to bed, and this happened hours later. These are not his kids, so he's not counting how many damn kids it is, you know. So yeah, I really think that he just plain didn't realize that he missed one in the process of the killing. And about time she woke up, I think he probably had already started to calm down or whatever, and she wakes up, and now it's like, damn, I got a kid here. Did I really shoot this little girl, or do I just let her sink with the ship? Like, I don't know. But hey, either way it goes, this is a whole shit show now. This like, what the hell is going on, right? So, okay. So he gets off the boat, you know. He done got on his little wooden dinghy. He is paddling away. He's gone. So the little girl says she realizes at the last minute, like, the ship is really going down. And she sees that there is still a float tied to the side of the boat next to where he just took the dinghy from. So she runs over. She starts untying this float. Unfortunately for her, the line that she untied, it got caught in something on the boat. And as she was actually trying to get onto the little float, something on that boat caught that line, and it actually pulled her and the float down. Because you gotta think, she's little, she's terrified, it's nighttime, she can't even see out here on the ocean, okay? And then she says that it was very cloudy, so she didn't even have moonlight to even try to see a silhouette of anything. So I know she had to be fucking just absolutely terrified out of her mind, this poor child. So the boat is pulling her and the float down because the line from it is caught. So at the last minute, that line actually breaks and the float comes shooting back to the top. Now, she's a little kid, she's still holding on, so it's not like it's a lot of weight holding on to it. So they actually manages to pull her back up with it, thank goodness, right? She gets on this float, and then she instantly thinks about the crazy ass captain that is somewhere in this water, and I can't see anything. So she said what she did was she laid down. She stayed laying down flat in the boat. She tried to stay as flat as possible in the boat because she did not know where the captain was, but she had this feeling that he was about to possibly kill her too. I mean, it's reasonable, right? Like, it's reasonable for her to be thinking that. He just killed every damn body. Okay. So she ends up being at sea for 4 days, you guys. 4 days. So this happened Sunday night, right? So Monday comes and goes. Nobody comes to see her. Well, no, actually they said Monday a plane actually flew over her. But from the angle that the plane flew, they said that it would have been impossible for the pilots to actually see her. Or notice her, because apparently the float was white, her shirt that she had on was white, her hair was blonde, and she's very little. You gotta think she's a little kid. So to them, she just looks like something that's in the ocean or something that's supposed to be there. They don't even realize that it's a person or anything. Even though she's moving, everything is just kind of blended in. So to them, it's just like a little spot in the water, and that was it. So Tuesday, because this is just like, wow. Like, how do you do this to people? It's really some crazy people in the world. So yeah, it's really some crazy people in the world. Okay, so had to take me a drink break. I got thirsty, girl. Anyway, so yeah, so it's some crazy people in the dang on world. So this little girl says that Wednesday, was it Tuesday? That Tuesday, of course, you know, this is her second day out there. She has no food, she has no water, she has nothing to cover her, protect her from the sun. There's no umbrella, sunscreen, nothing. She's just out and exposed to the elements. And let's keep in mind, she's a child. She's little, she's young, she's probably terrified. Her whole family was just murdered. Like, there has to be all type of shit going through her head. So Tuesday, she said that she was actually startled halfway through the day because she seen something under the water coming towards her, and she could tell that there was multiple ones of them. She called them proposies. So I'm not into the water thingy, you know, like all that going a deep dive. I'm not trying to get deep off in no ocean. Let me tell you, I like being on land. But anyway, so she called them proposies, and I guess that is a term for them, but when I looked it up, it said that they are just small dolphins. Okay, so these dolphins came, and which I've actually, I don't really know a lot about dolphins, but I didn't, it don't matter. Anyway, so apparently these dolphins came around her float, and they was like coming up, shooting water and stuff on her, and they pretty much stayed around her float for pretty much until the sun went down. They were around her float. That's kind of eerie, but you know, to her, she's a little kid, so to her, she's not alone because these dolphins are there now. So, you know, she's like, okay, well, at least I'm not by myself. It's some dolphins here, like, throwing water on me every few minutes or so, you know, because you gotta keep in mind, it's hot. She's in the Bahamas. It's hot. The sun is out, and there's nothing to protect her. It's just beaming down on her little body, so she is sunburnt already at this point. And this is only day number 2, you know. So says that by Thursday, she could barely stay conscious, right? This is her 4th day out there. She could barely stay conscious. She passed out trying to paddle to what she thought was a little island, and then the island disappeared before her eyes. So you already know that means she's like having like the mirages or whatever. She's hallucinating, and she's trying to get to it. It disappears. She realized there's nothing there, so she ends up falling unconscious. She wakes back up again and says it looks as if she's floating toward a solid black wall. So keep in mind, she just had a hallucination. And even though she's a little kid, she has the sense to recognize that, hey, what I just seen before I passed out, went to sleep or whatever was not real. So now she's looking at this black wall in front of her like, all right, now I'm seeing, just seeing the island that wasn't there. Now I see a black wall. All right, I don't know. Maybe a rope's gonna come down in a minute. Who knows? Save me. This was not a mirage. What she was looking at was the side of a ship that she had come up on, and just so happened she raised her head and looked up, and that's when she realized that people were actually hanging over the side of the boat, waving their arms, yelling to her, and she started to wave back. And somehow they managed to, hook that float and actually started to lift her out of that water. So they got her out of the water, no, they never said they lifted the float, so they probably lowered down one of their smaller boats to her and just got her and put her in, either way go. They rescued her. So finally, thank God, it says that she was very close to death, right? So remember Julian Harvey, the captain? So apparently, remember this happened on a Sunday night when this ship originally went down, right? So apparently Monday morning, he was rescued in Puerto Rico. And they took him to the hospital, got him medical help, and then they actually put him up in a hotel called the Sandman Hotel. So he was there for a few days, trying to arrange him getting back to the U.S. or whatever. It's been that they've got to start an investigation. They've got to do all this paperwork and all this extra stuff to get his ass back across here, right? So a few days later, because remember, he was rescued the next morning. She was not rescued until Thursday evening. The sun was about to start going down when they actually rescued her. Okay, so you gotta think she instantly goes unconscious. They have a helicopter come and get her. Now he's still in Puerto Rico, but she is airlifted back to Miami. So she's now back in the U.S. She's safe now. That's it, my boy. You're done. You're done. You're done. Done. Yep, you're done. So she's in Miami. When she finally wakes up Friday evening, which she had to really, really, really be depleted and exhausted and everything else, because it's Thursday evening. So more than likely, by the time they got the helicopter there back to Miami, it's probably like Thursday night by the time she actually gets to the hospital. However, she sleeps that entire night. Morning, it's the next evening before this child wakes up. So that lets you know just how big of a toll this took on. Like, she is exhausted. This poor baby is just tired, So when she wakes up, the police are there. She instantly starts to tell it all. Okay, let me tell y'all, it was Captain Harvey. My dad already knew him. He was supposed to be the captain for the boat. We paid him, and she just goes on to tell basically everything. So the only thing is, keep in mind, she never seen her dad, her sister, or Miss Deanie, which was Harvey's wife. Okay, so the news breaks. Saturday morning. Harvey is in Puerto Rico. So apparently he eventually gets this news of the little American girl being rescued from that boat, from his boat, the Bluebell. Yes. So there's no mistaking, because there is no other Bluebell, so there's no mistaking about what boat she came off of, right? He know his ass is done. Sunday morning, the maid at the hotel finds his ass, or rather she can't get into the bathroom and there's blood in his room. She goes and gets the manager. They break into the bathroom, find his ass in there dead. He done killed himself. Because he know he's not going to make it out of this. He was calm, cool, collect. Everything was great until he realized this little girl is alive. And she's telling it all. The police know everything now. Your ass is done. That goose is cooked, baby. Shit. So, he kills himself. So, the police, they do a little investigation into Arthur. So apparently Mr. Julian Harvey, his wife Deanie, She was said to be the 6th or 7th wife. So apparently he would get married, get these really large life insurance policies, and nobody would ever fucking see his wives again. I mean, like, there was no, like, there weren't body parts coming up. There was, like, when I say gone completely, to never be seen in any type of way again, gone. Nobody sees these girls. Nobody know where they've been. So this is the 6th or 7th wife. So with that being said, he's really been doing some killing here. This ain't his first rodeo. He been doing this. So apparently he had a very large life insurance policy, and I guess he was coming due for some payment there. I guess he was ready, like, all right. That explains why he randomly threw in the, oh, I'm gonna bring my wife along just because I appreciate you giving me the business so much. I'm gonna bring my wife along and have her to cook for y'all just as a little extra, just as appreciation for you giving me the business. So the police theorized, because of course Terry Jo is little. She don't know exactly what his reason is, why he just went mad and just did this. So this is the theory, right? Because apparently there was like 3 different levels to this yacht. So apparently the first level was where the cabins were that everybody slept. The second one, it wasn't the entire boat, but it was like a little half of a level where you could actually step up and just like observe, I guess. And then you actually had the top deck of the boat where you actually on top of the boat. So remember, when she first started going up, she seen her mom and her brother. So the police theory is, of course, we already know he was killing the wife either way when her ass had to go. Even if everybody else would have came back, she was going to have to go. That's just what it is. She was going to have to go. Whether he had to lie and say she was asleep the rest of the trip or what, she was going to have to go because he wanted that money. This ain't his first rodeo, so he was going to get that money. That she had to go. Okay? Horrible, but yeah. So their theory is that he actually went to kill his wife because he knew he was getting ready to come back to the U.S. So he had to hurry up and get rid of her now in that international water versus her coming back here to the U.S. where there's really going to be a lot of fuss about somebody just going missing here. So apparently the theory is he was killing her. Arthur Dupont came in. Remember him with the little girl, Renee? Yes. So it is theorized that he was probably on the top deck with the little girl while the wife was on the second deck with the son, looking around and stuff, stargazing and all that good stuff. So they think that Arthur and his daughter actually walked up on the captain killing his wife. Once Arthur and his daughter walked up, he knew he had to hurry up and get them silent. Even though everybody else is still below deck and they don't know that anything is going on, it's the fact that he knows that this woman and her other 2 kids are going to be looking for the father and the daughter. His wife, nobody's really going to, they might ask questions and be like, that's weird, but he could get away with her going missing with them anyway, at least till he get back to the U.S. He could have probably got away with telling them she's asleep, she's sick, or anything, But as far as these people here, once he seen that, he had to kill that man and the daughter. And of course, that means that the son, the wife and the son has to go as well. Now, like I said, when I said that, remember earlier when I said I'm coming back to this about why he may not have killed Terry Jo to begin with, I think that in the process of this, one, I think he worked himself up enough to get the nuts to go in there and kill his wife, or he might not have. He might just be real comfortable with killing people, who knows. Anyway, I think that he went to go kill the wife, and like I say, the dad came and surprised him, and then it was just kind of a spur of the moment. Oh shit, I didn't plan for this. Damn it, now we off course. Now he's just killing just randomly because he needs to get rid of witnesses. He's not stopping to count kids and people and all this shit. He just knows that, okay, this is all I see. Everybody was up top. Yeah, everybody was up top. So this is it. It's not until later when he's running around trying to get rid of the evidence and stuff and get off the boat is when the little girl wakes up and he realizes shit, I've left the kid. But I think by then he had already calmed down, and it's like, damn. How can you possibly be mad enough to actually want to shoot an 11-year-old in the face? Like, let's be for real. This is a little kid here, you know. So that is the police theory. You know, the little girl did go back, said that her dad actually had a sister back in Wisconsin, and that's who she went to live with once she left the hospital. You know, she went to auntie, her cousin. She did change her name. I'm not going to give her new name because I'm pretty sure she had good reasons for changing her name. Little Miss Terry Jo Duperot, yes. I'm pretty sure she had a good reason for changing her name. So I'm not going to say her name, you know, but I'm pretty sure there are some people out there that probably have already seen it or, you know, or even know. But yes, y'all, this is the end of this story. I will be doing another one really soon. I can't decide which one because, like I said, I have really just gotten on one. Like, I am really enjoying doing these true crimes. I'm enjoying, like, the research for them, and actually, I'm just enjoying everything about them. So I'm definitely going to be bringing another one back really soon, you know. Hey, but yes, if you have liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so that you will know every time that I post a video. And until next time, y'all. Peace.